Yeah, there we go.
The freestyle by Corey Holcomb and this bitch. Cause I don't like your daughter, bitch. I don't like your daughter, bitch. Ever since I saw the little hoe, niggas knocking on my motherfucking door. Is Trina there? Is she coming out? I say, hey, put that thing in that bitch mouth, cause I don't like your daughter, bitch. Going in my refrigerator. Every nigga that nut in her, somehow they hate her. Her 2 kids that she kept cause she thought them dudes was gonna give her fuck. But then they ducked out on her ass. Fuck that silly slut. Even though that bitch do got a big ass butt. But I won't fuck her though. Cause it's your daughter. But get the daughter out my face before the slaughter. I don't like your daughter, bitch.
I told you he had some shit.
Yeah. I'm Darlene. We have Zoe in the house.
Yup.
Bobby.
The revolution will not
Be televised.
Yeah.
Some fools up on the damn board are talking about 5150 won't be televised either. Which is true. Anyway, we are waiting on Mr. Holcomb's arrival.
which will be short.
Sure.
Very, very
Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I am totally gonna pass on any loose talk because there's too much. Yeah, man, it's all good. Don't worry, there's plenty of that all the time. So, how you want to start it off, man? So,
They're in the streets all over the country.
Bobby is the one that's turned up right now.
Well,
I got some bullets to fire, but I'm gonna let Bobby go ahead and get active.
no, I just think that at the end of the day, the question is going to become, what are we going to do now?
right.
And that's the prevailing question. What are we going to do now? There's several fronts. There's some very historic things happening as we speak in New York, Boston, Detroit, Philadelphia, Chicago, Los Angeles. The people are out in the street venting their frustration. At the end of the day, what's the next step? And that's a question that we all going to have to take personal responsibility for. Now, we can break it down generationally. The young are where they're supposed to be, doing what they feel they need to do to have their voices heard. Now, take this into consideration, young people and people my age.
Right.
Once we burn it down, what we're going to build back?
Well, listen, Bobby, the big homie is getting ready to walk in here right now.
Right.
So maybe we should just take a quick break and get it set up.
In the
No, he coming
Right in.
And he's on fire with it.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Good, you made it, Corey. We was worried out there.
the king
You know
of
what's going on out
comedy,
there.
a real man's real man.
Ooh,
Y'all know
we got
him
worried for a little bit.
as that nigga. Ladies and gentlemen,
Ooh.
he just arrived. Corey Holcomb's in the house.
What's up, y'all?
Man,
up,
we ready
Corey?
to get this thing going, man.
Man, look. Okay, so let me start out by saying this. Sorry, I'm late, motherfuckers. But this is probably one of them shows that everybody has anticipated. I expect
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of people to watch what's happening today.
Yeah.
Before we start, I want to say this. I lost one of my best friends
What?
Sunday morning.
Yes,
my
you did.
bulldog named
yeah.
Fat Boy. And, like me being a guy from the hood, I never had a dog before.
That you
So-
gave a shit about.
It's like, I never had a dog before.
Period. You never had a dog?
but-
Like that
So
spent
me
time
having
like
a
that.
dog from being a puppy
I remember.
to watching him mature
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
a senior citizen, it was
Into
really
grown
hard to let him go.
doghood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I was crying like a bitch.
I know.
That fucked me up when I heard that
Yeah.
you went into, the deep end. But then again, man, you don't know till you know.
You weren't,
what
so you
people gonna
obviously
be
weren't a
affected
dog
by.
person then,
I
Bobby.
done
then.
had dogs, but I just ain't never been that close to one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between having dogs and having that type of bond with them.
Yeah,
I know
you've
because I've had
had
them all my life.
You had a bulldog too, didn't you?
I've had several bulldogs,
I
yeah,
remember
and
when
pit bulls.
Darlene told me about her dog died, and the sympathy was there because I know she was really close to her dog, and I knew my dog was getting older, so I knew it was coming. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they only live. Dogs don't have a really short.
And not those dogs
lifespan.
too. Those dogs too, especially.
Yeah,
Real short.
so it's like, man, I've had it rough since really the last few weeks because I knew he was terminally ill.
Yeah.
But then I had to watch him pass in front of me. He had a heart attack. It was really bad, man.
Damn.
He had me-
Yeah, and there's no
had me
time to get them
fucked up.
oxygen. I know, yeah,
So,
Now, I remember a couple weeks ago when we were trying to schedule you for the Zo What show, you was like, hey man, I'm
Sorry.
on dog watch right now.
That's when he turned for the worse.
Yeah.
Well, they were able to revive him and do stuff like that. And so, like, you know, it was just a couple of weeks later he passed on.
Man.
And I say that just because, you know, it's heavy on my heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know you know how it is.
Not everybody can relate, Corey. It's
we
okay.
act silly in here.
Yeah.
But as we go into this serious topic, because everybody know what we going
It's
on
about to be
today.
crazy right now. I'm
You
just
know,
waiting
yeah,
till
I
the
just-
setup.
I just want to say it's stuff on my heart anyway, but it will be used as no excuse for what I say, because I feel like the 5150 show is a show where people get a chance to say what's real. And I know everybody in the studio may not be able to see. I got one of my homeboys in here. I'm gonna let him do a little phone thing on the show where he gonna videotape us. He has an app I want to introduce people to
For sure.
and get them started on that. So if y'all see,
All right.
what's your street name?
Easy.
His street name is Easy.
Easy.
Yeah, but his real name is Giovanni.
Why you say it like that? It's an Italian name, Giovanni.
Hey,
But why you say it?
Like,
Say
you
it
think you
again,
all
Corey.
that.
What's his name?
Is it
That's what it
Bijan?
is.
I'm sorry.
Bijan.
Oh, Bijan. I'm sorry, not Giovanni.
Oh, like the perfume, like the clothing.
Bijan.
Oh.
Like yeah, they got that at
Yeah.
we need to get him a chair and a mic.
Walmart now.
He's not sitting there into the show. He just gonna videotape it because he has an app that I want people to know about.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
letting him do that for
Did he
during
bring
the
his
show.
release forms for us? Not really.
Yeah, we gonna have to do something with his ass. We gonna ham him up, get something on him. But yo,
Oh,
so
man.
we all know what's happening. We got Darlene's loose talk
No.
about bullshit.
Oh, we just went over that. We just said we were gonna skip it because I know there's just
'Cause
so
we gotta
much.
go in, huh?
Exactly.
Gotta go in, man.
It's pretty serious. It's pretty deep. Bobby was just in the midst of breaking something down for us.
Bobby said he's siding with the white
Well,
people.
no,
That's
I'm
what
not.
he told me.
No, but as far as I was getting
Go
from
on,
Bobby
get it
when he
out
just
there,
started,
Bobby. Go on.
because I don't like to see all that happening. You know what I'm saying? All the violence and the burning and the destruction and stuff like that. I don't care for that, of course not. But like you were saying, what's going to happen then? You're doing all this. What's going to happen afterwards? Are you still going to be passionate about change or doing something right? But finish what you were
This
saying.
time we have to be passionate about change because in this instance, I can represent the 60s. I lived through the 60s. And
not the Crips,
watched
not
us-
the area,
No, I'm
but go
talking
ahead, I'm
about
sorry.
when we said Watts on fire.
There's
we
a lot
set
of young
Detroit
people
on
that-
fire. We said Newark, New Jersey on fire. And you go back to those cities and they still barren. I don't want to see that repeated. I understand the anger. I done been that mad, and I saw some stuff tonight that had me hot as fish grease because they have allowed this man to sit on his story for 4 months. And he came on television, I'm talking about Darren Wilson,
Yeah.
and he read his script perfectly. He said he had no other options. And in that moment, I was enraged as anybody in America is. But I also know that we have to have several aspects of our approach to dealing with this shit. We got to be ready to sustain a battle. Because a revolution is more than marching and protesting. If you're going to really get change, you got to be committed 24/7 to change.
Right, you
It
just
can't
don't
be
get
just
involved
walking
in-
up and
in the
down
action
the
and
street
then leave it,
and then running in doing some Christmas shopping and that kind of thing, and then worrying about what somebody got to say about it. All right, because I saw some of Corey's comments, and I understand where he's coming from. White people gonna shape the issues because they're in a position to do that. What we have to do is respond in a way that's sustainable, that protect us from ever being in a situation where we had to continually go through this same damn thing. We done been through this before. I was here in L.A. in 91 when this city went up in smoke. And I watched South Central L.A. lay dormant with no economic activity or nothing for 20 years because we wasn't ready to build anything. If you're going to lead people, you got to be able to feed people. That's the bottom line.
Well, I want to say this. What's happening around the country is mainly the youth in America standing up how they know how to stand up. And I don't shoot them down for what they doing. Because the youth in this country have no respect for the system. They have no respect for those bullshit preachers, them homosexual ass preachers that's out there telling them to stop.
Right.
They have no respect for the police. They even have no respect for their bullshit ass parents.
Right.
So the streets in America right now are filled with the real soldiers. And them motherfuckers are standing up the way coward motherfuckers who sit on the sideline and criticize them won't. Because they are bred for this. These are the children, the real children of the corn. These are the children who have been fed bullshit from the day they was born. Back when we were coming up, Santa Claus and all that stuff was the bullshit. Now, it's trendy to basically lie to your child every time you open your mouth.
Right.
So this is the result of those kids. They're out there. They on the front line, and most of the elders are criticizing them when a lot of elders need to get their coward ass out there on the front line with them.
Right.
Because those kids know what it's like to walk down the street. Not just, I want to say this, it's not just black people.
White people out there too.
It's a lot of people out there.
Well, people that want to support it, of course, to see it, to recognize it.
And
but are you talking about now when you say in the front lines doing what, Corey? You gotta be
in the front lines doing what needs to be done. Sometimes you got to burn some shit down in order to change the shit.
Right, but why does it got to be your own? Why does it got to be your own? Really, these people ain't going into...
The reason they aren't burning down other parts of the city
that would matter to other
is
people.
Because the other parts of the city are heavily guarded by armed police officers and military. They always allow you to burn down the areas that are owned by...
Right, they just sit back. They just gonna let them do
you.
it. Yeah,
it's not
they want
just,
to. Go
not
ahead.
well, you don't even really own it.
It's not just black people. It's the Asian people.
Yeah.
It's the people, the Arabian people.
The immigrants.
And they like, that's when they like to separate from us and be like, why you do this? I'm not your oppressor. Well, let me tell you something. You need to put your stove in the protected area, but they won't allow you, will they? They won't allow you to build your little bullshit Indian stores with the bootleg shit you sell us over there in the areas that are protected.
Right.
So you want to act like, oh, look at these niggas. You right here with us. So you in the battle, whether you want to be or not. And all of the people who are talking about the kids, because that's the young America that's out there marching. Mm-hmm. You are so out of place. I am embarrassed how people go with the CNN coverage where they try to say, oh, they're just tearing up stuff. They're destructive. They're being destructive. That's what the news is going to do. They're going to paint
sensationalize.
The same way that man had 4 months to get his story together. They have people who sit around and they have a theme of how they are going to report this story.
They're not reporting the news. They're constructing the news. They're creating the news.
Right.
That's perfect. So they're creating the news. So wake up. I want to say that to everybody. One of the few elderly guys, in my opinion, who knows what's happening is Farrakhan. Farrakhan was tweeting,
he know.
You're not going to compromise with young America with their bullshit rhetoric.
Right.
Obama. You know what I mean?
And that's what's really fucking me up right now. America is the land of contradictions. It is the land of contradictions. They say it's freedom, but it's not free. They say there's opportunity, but there are no opportunities. You know? Let me just listen. Barack Obama came out and said, you know, this is not America. We don't respond like that. We don't do this, right? And then I saw some preachers on CNN. And then I saw everybody saying the same thing. You know what? It's a peaceful demonstration, and this is what America is all about. America was born out of revolution, out of revolt.
Violence.
Let's remember that. Out of violence.
Oh yeah, all those civil
the
wars,
Civil War,
yeah.
The Revolutionary War. Let's not act like America. First off, built in the Constitution, it tells people to create a militia to keep the government in check. So if the government gets out of whack, you can create your own militia to police the government. See,
well, you're making a real important point, and I want everybody to understand this. I am as black as shoe polish, and ain't nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to make no excuses about that. And what I try to bring to this conversation is perspective, historical perspective. Through the ages, if we don't learn from the history, then we'll repeat the failures.
But this, listen.
And the object is to win.
9/11.
Let me just finish my point. Now, I'm glad you want to mention 9/11. Let's talk about soldiers. If you're going to have a revolution, you need to bring the soldiers to the table. You got a lot of young brothers who have been to Afghanistan, who have been to war. All right, they need to be a part of the equation. If you're talking about going to war, you need to have soldiers.
Can I say
at
something?
The front end of that. They did that in the 60s with the Panthers, and before that, World War II veterans stepped up during the Civil Rights Movement, and they came with their guns, and they knew how to use them. That's important if you're going to talk about having a revolution. Somebody got to know how to shoot straight.
Well, listen, the revolution that is about to happen, whether people like it or not, it doesn't matter if you criticize it. It doesn't matter. It's coming. When all out chaos breaks out in America, everything that, in my opinion, we talk about, it's going to be shown. We need the soldiers who are sitting there taking orders from people they know are unjust to turn on the system, because blood is going to get shed when it really jump off. This protest, this ain't nothing but the prelude to what is about to happen. You can't duck it. You can. I tell you what, Don Lemon with your moist ass. Oh my God! I want him to catch it so bad out there. I'm just keeping it real. I can't be phony the whole time I'm doing my show and watch everything I say. I watch all of those black CNN reporters, and they are an embarrassment to black people.
Well, they're allowing them to be a mockery. I mean, people are loving that. Like, I watched, there's a gossip show, of course, that comes on Channel 11, and they were all saying in the newsroom, like, oh, how they love how silly he's a buffoon. They're laughing at him. So it's like he was placed there. They were like, oh, he's perfect.
He was placed there as Obama was placed there.
Like a dang idiot.
We were at the foxhole, man, before Obama was the president, man, and I was the bad guy in the room questioning who Obama was. But now it's out that Obama and Jamie Foxx hung out. So I knew I was talking about two sissies anyway. But I'm a villain for saying that. But I know what it is. I know how these motherfuckers get out. Especially I know how one of them get out. So if you hanging with them like that,
birds of a feather.
Y'all go. You fuck around like that, because motherfuckers don't play like that. So I'm just saying to the youth and everybody that's listening, the people who are tweeting me from the UK and all over the world, I want to say this: I am not a racist. In no way am I a racist. I got love for everybody that's 100. But if I peep you being ingenuine with your behavior toward me or my people, I will call you on it. And I'm not scared to call you on it. Because I feel like whatever the fuck you do to me, so what? I don't give a fuck. Somebody got to say it. Somebody got to be bold enough to say it.
So, my hope, like I was thinking about this all day. I'm really, at a loss. But I was thinking about it today, and I said, first and foremost, Department of Homeland Security is they've already labeled Bloods and Crips as domestic terrorists. They've already have in place. This is what the building up of the militarization of our local police departments are about. They're already transforming the citizenry of the United States into enemy combatants, right? So protests, marches, things of that nature produce the cause to bring out the big guns to show that show of force in order to keep people in check. So my thing is, I call out the Bloods and Crips of the world, right? Because when you in underground crime and you doing dirt, there's always a higher level dude that's connected to somebody that's connected to the government in some way. Iran-Contra, Oliver North, connected to our boy, Freeway Ricky, right? Now, Oliver North got a chance to just get fired, but still live his life as a free man. Freeway Ricky went to jail. When we start talking about solutions and how to turn this situation around, because it's about power. If we could get the Bloods and Crips to say, okay, we're going to sell dope, but we're going to launder that money. Then we're going to buy real estate. Then we're going to train We're going to train the Bloods and Crips. It's prerequisite that the Bloods and Crips take martial arts, mixed martial arts. It's prerequisite that the Bloods and Crips go buy weapons, right? It's prerequisite that we have some kind of financial plan in place. Now, when you start doing that kind of situation, now you're a real gang.
But see, listen, they used to have the people back in the day, Huey P. Newton and those guys.
Exactly. The Black Panthers.
The Black Panthers were basically targeted by the government and annihilated.
Exactly.
We don't need to send false hope to nobody out there anymore. The truth is, when you organize,
Go
you
ahead.
are being watched.
Yeah, you put yourself in harm's way when you organize.
They have a list when you fly in the airport. I know you want it, Corey.
Hey, B,
I know for sure.
everything you organize, including the 5150 show, as the numbers grow, we in jeopardy. You know what I mean? I know this, even if you guys don't know this. As we speak against what CNN and the machine is saying, we are terrorists as far as they're concerned. They're going to label you a terrorist if you don't conform and obey. That's why Stephen A. Smith and Charles Barkley and Chris Carter on ESPN, all of these guys, they want to be the pets.
That's what it
the
is.
villain.
And that's why they advocate the coping mechanism. The coping mechanism is do right, stay out of trouble, keep your head down, don't make no waves. In other words, don't talk, don't stand up, don't be you, don't be real.
Stop eyeing that white woman.
You see what I'm saying? COINTELPRO was real. What do we think? That it just went away? We think COINTELPRO went away? Because we got a black president, we think it's not still in effect?
Well, I don't know what the hell they doing with this black president thing. This is the biggest joke in the history of black people. Everybody went out and voted for a man who has never spoken up for you. He will not stand on that podium and talk about the black-white issue that goes on in America. I say again, I'm not a racist, but we need to make everybody aware of the history of black people in America and Caucasian people in America. And I'm not excluding the other races of America. Everybody needs to know how you got here, you know what I mean, and where you come from, so that there is no confusion about what is being done by the people who are in power in this country.
Right.
Because people think that the people that CNN say are bad are the bad guys. We were brought here. We were kidnapped from our homeland. We were made to build this country. And now that they have no use for us, they slaughter us in front of the world. We all knew that this man wasn't going down for killing that young boy.
We knew it.
We all know the script they use about how he was intimidating and he was a big black. We talk about teenagers.
He
now.
was a demon.
He was a demon.
The man said he was a demon. Come
What
on.
do they say about Trayvon? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. We talk about, oh, we just repeating the same thing. No, they're doing the same thing. They're basically pulling their nuts out in your face, and most people are scared to say something.
And I'm going
But
to say
it's
this
like,
real
what
quick.
What are you going to do after it? Like Bobby hit on it. That was.
What do you mean what are they going to do after it? They're doing it. The youth is in the street.
But
We
just
need
like-
to
but
get
just
out there
like what
with them.
happened With the other incident, what
Okay.
happens after?
All right.
Months pass, and then people die down, and they don't.
But
they don't
fire
stay
ain't
down.
always bad. Sometimes fire regenerates the forest.
And then how long
And
does it
sometimes
last?
you need a fire
can't
to
sustain
purify.
it. You can't
Sometimes you
sustain
got to
it.
let it burn.
You got to let it
I
burn
learned that from
sometimes.
listening to the minister. Let it burn.
Dude,
Unsustainable.
your boy was on our show. Our guy. Get him out, Grimes. Milton Grimes, lawyer for Rodney King.
Right.
He said sometimes civil disobedience is the chaos by which change comes. Sometimes.
That's one spoke in the wheel, and if you leave out these other,
I agree.
If you leave
That's
out
one
these-
spoken what?
It's one spoke in the wheel.
In other words, it starts stuff.
Okay, you done got
Attention,
everybody's
what's gonna
attention.
happen after?
Now what? Okay,
What do you
because-
mean now
Are you
what?
gonna
Now
sit down
what
after the fight?
What's going on right now? You don't know what this will lead to because you and a lot of people think
Hold on.
that this just
Don't
let me
put me
finish.
with them.
You think it blows over. You don't know what's finna happen. You think you're finna go home and go to sleep, but you might cut on the news and they got airstrikes against the people out there. The war might start. So
But what if it
don't
doesn't?
think that. What do you mean?
But
What if it does?
doesn't?
What is that? What are you asking me? I don't have the future in my hand. All I
Well,
know is
we got the plan
sitting
for it.
still with your hands like this
That
is
ain't
not the future. That's what I know.
Not the plan.
That's not gonna happen.
That's not what I'm even recommending. I'm saying that the battle has to be fought on many fronts. Okay.
Agreed.
Because somebody got to feed us.
No, they don't.
No, we gotta
you gotta
feed
feed
us.
yourself.
Who you think I'm talking about?
Okay.
I was on the phone today with the president of the Black Farmers Association.
And where
You
the
talk
fuck he
about
at?
He's in Memphis, Tennessee.
Doing what?
They have actually bought land, and they're in the process of producing food right now.
You can't
without
buy
our
land in
support.
America.
They already own the land.
You can't.
Well,
you
what
don't
they
own
can't
shit
do
in
is
America.
what they can't do is farm it because we're not investing in it.
You don't own
Okay, I see-
nothing in
I see-
America.
I
We're
see
not
what you're
investing
saying,
in it.
Bobby. And
Until we invest in our own survival, you're right. We don't have no
That's
plan.
agreed.
You're
But it's
talking
got
about
to be a
fixing
part of a plan.
You're talking about fixing a problem with the tools that the enemy has given you.
You giving them more
instead of
credit.
using the tools
you giving them more
that
credit than
you
they
have
deserve.
naturally.
no, I
You
agree.
giving them more
I see
credit.
what Bobby is saying.
You giving them more credit than they got.
Okay, hold on. What is Bobby saying in your opinion,
I see
Zoe?
what Bobby is saying, but I think the
No, wait a
critical
minute. Let
point.
Bobby say what Bobby's saying.
No, I said I see it. I'm not saying it for you. I said I see what you're saying. I'm not saying what you're saying.
I don't see what he's saying.
But I see what you're
all
saying.
I see is he's saying you supposed to use your money to do that. Your money ain't worth shit.
Right.
Your money is worth something because that's the only thing that works in this country. That's the only thing that has brought these motherfuckers to their knees is money.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Period.
I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but trust me, Bobby, when I tell you this. I wish you had a lot of money so you could see how useless it is. I really do. Because you think you're allowed to go buy something in this
No, I
country
don't.
and own it.
I don't think
You
I
don't own
no.
nothing.
What you do is you buy the right to kill for it or die for it, and you are a walking
Buy the-
contradiction in that sense, Corey. You go out every week and make your money, and you put it in the studio, you put it in people, you take care of your family. So don't sit here and tell me money don't make no difference. It gives you power, Corey.
If I didn't have
It gives you
a
power.
job as a comedian,
But don't,
I was
wait a minute,
still-
what we talking about? We're not talking about
But wait,
that.
I'm
You
just-
make a living.
I'm
off
trying
of
to
your
make a
talent.
point.
You make a living off of your talent.
I'm trying to make a point.
Make the point.
Everybody says to people who may have found a way, because talent don't mean shit. The most talented people I know ain't got a dime.
They're not thinking right.
People who find a way are basically taken out of the category of being in the struggle and said, oh, you do this, you do that. No, you wrong, Bobby. I'm from the motherfucking projects. And I'm still in touch with some of the same people I was in touch with when I used to steal out of grocery stores and sell the motherfucking medicine I used to steal from the grocery store to the Indian store and make money. I'm always going to have a hustle.
I don't think
I'm
you're
never
hearing
going
me.
to sit
But
back
you're not
and
hearing me.
say, oh, I ain't got no talent, or oh,
But you
that
know
guy
what?
got
You're not
this,
hearing me,
or
Corey.
whatever.
No,
You
no,
are
no.
not. Corey,
I
not
hear
hearing
you.
me. I'm talking
I
to Corey
understand
now.
what
I'm
you're
talking
saying.
directly to Corey.
But what
you're
I-
not hearing me, Corey. You have
I hear
used your drive, your commitment to the hood, and the opportunity you have created for yourself to not be confined by the system. Because you have not done what they predicted you were supposed to do. We wouldn't even be sitting here right now if that was not true. We wouldn't even be able to do this show if you hadn't went out and got the money that you done been able to put your hands on and put it into this show and into the pockets of people that rely on you to eat. You can't feed people unless you can't lead people unless you feed people. You are breaking the mold, and you need to accept that, because I'm not criticizing
Wait a
you
minute.
for
But Bobby,
that.
but what I'm saying,
Yeah, I don't
this
think
is-
that's what
this
Corey's
is
saying.
This is
You
what
for
I'm
that.
saying to you. This is what I'm saying to you. I'm gonna try to make it blunt so you I want you to understand. You don't have enough money if you got every rich black person in this country to put their money into whatever land that you think that they're going to sell you in this country. You don't have money for that. The only thing you can do if you want some land in this country is take it. Your money that you gave to the people, it means nothing.
I don't see
Absolutely nothing.
I don't see the world
If I
the
buy
same
a
way.
house in L.A., I'm basically, okay, you give us this money, we'll allow you to rest up in this house, but you still have to pay every year to have this house.
Right.
And as long as you pay that money, you have a right to defend that property.
No, but see,
do you hear what he's
I see
saying?
exactly what you're saying.
Well,
but Bobby, that's the
Hold on.
problem.
No, it's not the problem. It's until we have did that,
pimped.
until we have done that, I tell you what, you will not be able to live anywhere. You're talking about real chaos. You go and take a man's property from him that he done paid for. He got a right to shoot you in your face the minute you
If
step
you shoot a
foot
Caucasian
on his
person,
shot.
you going to jail.
Well, I'm ready to
Even
go
if they
because
were
that's my
stealing
goddamn
But see,
land.
but you know what? You know what, Bobby? You know
That
what?
is my land.
But
no,
Corey,
my land,
I'm gonna cap your
If a
ass.
Caucasian person knock on your door with a ski
I'm
mask
gonna cap
on,
his
hey,
motherfucking
just
ass.
listen to me.
Wait.
And knock on your door
I'm
with a
ready
ski
to
mask
die
on,
about it.
and it don't matter if you're ready to die. I'm
It
just
does
saying.
matter, 'cause he's not coming.
If you're not going to allow me to talk, then I'll let you talk. That's nigga shit right there.
All right,
That's
let me
to
stop.
be quite honest.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
It's like when you talk to somebody, they don't want you to say what you're trying to say. It's like I'm talking to Don Lemon. Don Lemon didn't want Talib Kweli. Don Lemon didn't want Talib. That's what you did.
How am I like Don Lemon?
If you allow me to say it, I'll say it.
Okay, go ahead.
Don Lemon interrupted Talib Kweli
Oh yeah, I remember. That.
every time he opened his mouth to stop him from making his point. My opinion, that's what you did. So if you get mad over that, I don't know what to say, but that's just my opinion. I ain't trying to make you mad. I'm trying to show you something. That's what happened.
I'm not Don Lemon, first of all. And I'm not nothing like Don Lemon. So, yes, I'm insulted by that comparison. Ain't nothing about me like Don Lemon. Nothing.
Well, you did the same thing.
Well, I apologize if you took it that way.
But we
'cause I
good.
didn't-
You
okay.
can, your
I just wanna make
apology
sure that
is
you
accepted,
understand.
but
I am
understand
not Don Lemon in no
we
kind
get
of way.
heated. It be like that.
Oh, no.
We
I'm
get
right here
heated.
with you.
But I'm just
Yeah.
telling you, I feel like you think money, if everybody, what was that thing you used to work for? Some dollars?
Recycling black dollars.
Recycling black dollars. It's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
But it's imaginary.
Because black people didn't support it.
Whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to say. Let me tell you something. However you guys blame whatever you want to blame about whatever is going on in the world, the truth is, them young people in this country, they don't want to hear none of that shit. That's
Right.
why when you talking, they ain't listening, and they out there
Yeah.
in them motherfucking streets.
Yeah.
Because they really ain't set for battle. They don't have to give for battle, but still they out there. And I respect them. I salute them.
And I'll say this on top of that. I understand what Bobby is saying in terms of planning and being conscientious about moving forward and how, physical violence and revolution is only one spoke in the wheel. But when Bobby ends it at that and says, now what? Well, let's just go into now what. That's negotiations, right, Bobby? You have to be savvy to negotiate with the other side in order to get what you want, right? Bobby?
Is that a question?
That's a question. Yeah.
The answer is yes, you have to do it, and you have to understand, at least have the possibility in your mind that you got a chance to win. They told Fidel Castro the same thing. No way you're going to be able to hold off the United States for 50 years. If he felt like, I'm hearing certain comments in here tonight, we have no hope. We have no possibility of winning. When the fact of the matter is, this white man is weaker worldwide right now than he's ever been in the history of this country.
So let me ask
They're
you this.
vulnerable.
Let me ask you
They're
this,
not
Bobby.
infallible.
Let me
They
ask
ain't
you.
no Superman.
Right, and I agree with that, Bobby, because we made this point before. But I will say this to your point. Bobby, you can't negotiate with the devil.
That's all I'm trying to say.
You can't negotiate with the devil.
Okay, now are you saying then what's our option? We just
War.
No, what I'm saying
what
is,
kind
no,
of war?
This is what I'm saying,
What kind
Bobby.
of war?
Bobby,
Whatever war
hear
they
me out,
bring.
Bobby. This is what I'm saying. When I say you can't negotiate with the devil, I don't mean the white man is the devil. I mean evil. You can't negotiate with evil. Evil is going to present itself a certain way to you at that negotiation table, and it's going to turn its back on every commitment it's ever made to you. Just like America has turned its back on every commitment it's ever made to black folk.
Most men only respect you if they fear you. If they don't fear you, they'll walk right over you.
That's what it is.
That's how most men are, and that's what Caucasian leadership,
White
in this
supremacy
country
does
is
not
doing right now.
Right. White supremacy does not fear black people because black people are a confused, fragmented rabble of niggas that,
Because
have no
they-
future, no plan, no
They brought
organization.
us here. They brought us here. They know who we are,
Right.
and they know where we are. So they're in control because they've been watching us ever since they took our history from us.
And what Corey is saying on top of that is if we ever exhibited any level of financial, intellectual, organizational skills, we would then be moving ourselves into harm's way.
The war,
Just like we did with Tulsa, Oklahoma. Right? You remember Tulsa, Oklahoma? We moved into harm's way because we owned over 600 businesses. All them white folks over there was broke. It was a whole rich black community. Doctors, lawyers, restaurateurs, all that. Transportation, taxi companies, everything. And you know what? The first terrorist act in America. These fools dropped the first air bomb on a city
of black people.
of black people.
Look,
They burnt Tulsa, Oklahoma down. Let me give you another historical example. 1865, the slaves are free. But Albert Pike, a Mason, created the first terrorist group in the world, the Ku Klux Klan, to prevent freed slaves from voting. Listen, this is a country that's built on destruction. So, no disrespect to Bobby, because I respect Bobby, I love Bobby, but this is the thing that I don't agree with. We always want to sit down and do business
with the enemy.
with motherfuckers that are inherently evil. It's their system.
Okay,
It's
but
not
look,
designed for us to work.
We got to take a break. Bobby, we'll give you a chance. We'll give you a chance to talk. When we come back out of break.
Me house niggas, and I tell y'all can kiss my motherfucking ass.
Who you
with
talking
that
to, them?
bullshit. Whoever said that can kiss my ass twice, and I give you 15 minutes to draw a crowd. But that ain't the way I fucking roll. I'm gonna be down with my people, whether my people down with me or not. So
The
you
only
can get
thing-
off that motherfucking
but the
bullshit
only
about
thing-
me being a house.
Who
nigga.
said
But Bobby, we're going to take
Who
a
said
break.
it?
But the only
Whoever
thing I'm
said
saying
it,
is,
fuck them.
I'm just trying to tell you in a nutshell, negotiating with the people that have held you down for years is not the thing
But
to
that
do.
ain't. And I'm not
So-
talking about negotiation in that sense, Corey.
Okay.
I'm talking about
Well,
negotiating.
let's talk
what I
about.
said.
No, let's hear. I want to hear what your negotiating is.
I want to hear it
When
too.
we come back. And when we
Absolutely,
come
I want to
back-
hear it.
When we come back, we also going to talk about how this racist Caucasian cop was not cross-examined. He was basically
How about it?
shoveled, just like in the snow. He will shovel the path to his house
Right.
by this racist court system that nobody should ever believe in.
Right.
5150 show when we return. 5150 show. We are back in the house. In the chat room, some of y'all say we had an audio issue. I really apologize for that. I guess that's
It's the man.
sometimes we have to fix all that in post. But yeah, like Darlene say, it's the man. It might be the people at Ustream be like, fuck his broadcast up. We don't know.
Yeah.
But before we went to break, Bobby was trying to make his point, and I definitely want to give him a chance to get his point. He called me outside and checked the shit out of me.
They slap box for 35 seconds.
I saw Bobby play the game. I know he got energy, so we'll get into it. I got to knock him out quick. Now, Bobby, what was you saying? I hope you had a chance to think about your point, because I want you to make your point.
Mm-hmm.
My point is, you get what you negotiate. And what I mean by that simply is, in 1955, my best friend Carl Watkins' father went on the top of a rooftop with the Klan riding down his street with a shotgun and said, y'all can go head on with that dumb shit. And that was 1955. I was 1 year old. All of my life, I've had to deal with white folks in a certain kind of way. And I've been blessed to be around black people who weren't afraid of white folks. So anybody out there that think that you can't negotiate with white folks, you got to have something to negotiate with. We have not sustained economic self-determination long enough to compete with white folks. Now, if they take us out, what better way to go? I'd rather go standing on my feet than on my motherfucking knees. But until we sustain a push on all fronts, I do mean in every front, Corey Holcomb is the greatest example I personally know of his generation doing what's got to be done and winning. So I believe that it's possible to be who you say you are and still live well in this country. And if they take your motherfucking ass out, what better way to go? Because the whole world going with us. Because these people are vulnerable right now. And what we have to do as a people is look at the best practices in our culture. We have won in isolated situations. Everybody know about the Panthers, but very few people know about the Deacons of Defense.
Yeah.
They disrobed the Klan, kicked their motherfucking ass, and didn't have no more motherfucking problems with them because they know them brothers wasn't just mad, they were skillful because they were Vietnam veterans, they were Korean War veterans, they were World War II veterans, and they knew how to fight. So when you tell me that this white boy can't be beat, I'm not going to ever buy that. And when I say negotiate with them, I say negotiate from a position of ownership. Hold them to their own fucking document.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Please.
Can you give me an example of something that black people have in this country that they can come to Caucasian people who are in power and negotiate with?
I'll give you a modern.
Getting taken out.
I'll give you a modern example, and he's living and breathing right now. His name is Al Heyman. Al Heyman came out of nowhere and negotiated the right to the largest fight in the history of boxing. They can't stand his motherfucking guts, and he's living and breathing right now. Don King left the penitentiary and took over boxing. There are all kind of examples of us winning. And short of killing a black person, well, all you got to do is deal in degrees. That's all. The end of this shit is degrees.
And nobody
all of it is
disagrees with
degrees.
that.
That's true, but it's
Bobby
very minor
is
in the scheme of
absolutely
things.
All
right.
of this is degrees. Everything we do is
Bobby
degrees.
is absolutely right in the context of the American dream.
I'm not talking about the American dream. I'm talking about the order of the world. America is not the only country in the fucking world.
Bobby,
and right
nobody's
now,
nobody's
we are
disagreeing with you.
losing all across the world.
This is embarrassing to me because, Bobby, I mean, like the example that you used about a promoter who was allowed to get a check from the people he negotiated with.
He's not allowed. He's not allowed. He put himself in that game. They didn't say, hey, come here, Al, and take this money out of our pockets. They didn't do that.
But you know what? It's one
He
thing.
took
it's,
the money
it's
from
one
them.
thing.
Wait,
to
you
point
said
out-
Al Heyman took
the
money.
money by using his head,
Where did he get the money from?
his own money.
No, what I'm saying is, where
got
did he
it out
get
of the
that
system.
money from?
He got the money. Al Heyman started promoting shows when he was in college.
I understand.
But it's one thing to point out
A winning
individuals.
situation.
It's one thing to point out
Well,
individuals.
why not replicate that? Why
But
not do that
I'm not
across the
saying-
board?
I'm not saying that you're incorrect. What I'm
Right.
saying
Then what are
is,
you saying?
what I'm saying is, when it's an army of Don Kings, when it's an army of Al Heyman.
Well, how do we get an army?
But, I
We
mean-
do it by replication.
Can I finish?
Excuse me. I really apologize. I'm out of line, man.
Right, because
No.
you know what happened when somebody give you an example of how you act, you get mad.
No, I just apologize, and I mean it.
No,
I'm putting
it's
it
all
back.
good.
I was wrong for that.
But all I'm saying is, if there's an army, this goes back to the show we did on the Zoe West show. When black people come together, organization is seen as a terrorist act. That's all I'm saying.
This is what I'm saying on top of that. Oh, did you get the point out?
Yeah,
Because what I'm saying, what I'm trying to explain to Bobby is this. If a person finds a way to make progress in this society, that bridge is tore down immediately behind him.
It can be.
All the checks, Heyman, Don King, and I wish you would come with somebody else, those checks are given to them by the Caucasian people. He never had, he was allowed to have that. They're like, okay, we'll let him have that. But there can't be any more Don Kings like this. There can't be any more. The people who had their own, like Osama bin Laden, he was one of the richest men in the world.
Money from their
I'm talking about
family.
I'm talking about the
Right.
rich people
Right.
who have something. They're terrorists if they're not Caucasian. That's I don't know if I'm making my point. I might not be. I might not ever be able to break through. I'm just trying to say to you, Bobby, you're talking about something that was still received from the enemy. What do they come with besides, okay, you found a way to negotiate this, so they gave you a check. But when they gave you that check, they're writing laws where they never have to give checks to people like that again.
And all I'm
I
saying
can't
is,
put cash in the bank. One day a promoter gave me a whole bunch of cash. And I was like, not used to coming home with a whole bunch of cash, but I'm like, okay, he gave me some money. When I showed up at the bank and tried to put that cash in my account, they act like it was the end of the world. I had to come up with all this ID. I had to come up with all of this, the receipts and all that, because they was like, what the guy even said it. He didn't know he was being a racist asshole. Where did you get this much money from? And I was like, what does it matter?
right.
Did they take your money?
No, they let me put it in the bank after a series of they basically
taxes on it.
They basically took my wallet from me and went through my whole wallet to make sure I was who I said I was.
Wow.
But you kept the money, right?
Yeah, I put the money in, and this is what happened after I put the money in. The government has the right to take a lot of it. They call it taxes.
Right.
This is money I went out there and hustled.
Right.
And just to put it in the bank and register it in this country, they took 44% of the money. I'm saying this to you to let you know, if you're talking about money, you don't own the money that you have.
Wait, that's a heavy statement. You don't own the money.
You don't own
that
the money
you
that
have.
you have.
That's
You're
a
allowed
heavy statement.
to spend it circumstantially. You cannot use your money to help your people, or they will find a way to take your money.
Bobby, I think you and I agree on something.
Wait a minute. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. So the government told you to buy your mama a house.
No, nobody from the government told me to buy my mama a house.
I thought you said they allow you to do stuff. So
I'm
I just
allowed to buy my mama a house.
because you worked and earned the money. They didn't give you a goddamn thing. You went out and earned that motherfucking
But
money.
if they felt like I wasn't compliant,
You aren't compliant. You aren't compliant. You are the
I don't
least
understand
compliant person I know. You tell everybody that ain't right on this show, go fuck yourself.
Well, I'm just
That
saying.
is freedom that you paid for. Freedom ain't free. You got to go out and earn your freedom. You have earned the right to do with what they leave you with.
I
what
almost
the fuck
left
you
the
want
show.
to do.
I almost left this show.
We talked about this.
I
You know
get
why I
that.
almost left this show?
Because they offered you more
Because
money.
NBC
Offered you more
was
money.
going to put me on a TV show.
Right.
And they came with so much money
Mm-hmm.
that I couldn't turn it down.
But you turned it
The
down.
reason, one of the main reasons I didn't get the job, because I'm not gonna say I turned it down altogether. It was a lot to Corey Holcomb that the people I auditioned in front of didn't know. NBC has a research department. They know what the fuck goes on right here. That's why they said you can't do that shit no more if you gonna get this fat ass NBC check. Do
Right.
you want it, nigga? That's how they came at me.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, it was so much money. I was gonna take it. Listen, I'm 100 with mine.
Yeah.
I was gonna take it
I respect you for
because
that.
what I would have been able to do with that money was build my empire so that when I do the radio show again, it can be on something that's an even bigger platform.
Right.
See, you don't always have to do radio shows. This shit can be on iTunes, and they can. I was looking for loopholes in the contract. Okay, I can do a radio show, but
I could do a podcast.
I
Right.
can have a program
Right.
that I sell on iTunes. They couldn't stop that.
Right.
That's why I wasn't worried about it. But what I'm saying is, Bobby, them motherfuckers know if you want to be in that situation where you have some money, not no money, they ain't offering me no money like that compared to what they pay people in this business, but I'm saying there was enough money for a nigga who act like me and look like me
Right.
to live where I want to live out here in California, as long as I'm allowed to live there. Darlene knows what I'm talking about, because her and Ice-T lived in the motherfucking hills.
Hollywood
I'm sure
Hills.
all your neighbors was not niggas who act like Ice-T. Am I right?
No.
By far, that's right. No,
See, we're not supposed to live up there. That's why it's limited.
rare. That's right.
It's limited. They know we're gonna find a way to get your black ass out that fat ass house on the hill. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying all this, Bobby, so you can see. It doesn't matter what you negotiate with the bully. The bully gonna take it from you anyway until you take it back from him.
Keep you at a level.
Well, I really think, Corey, we're saying a whole lot of the same thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've been to Darlene's house before I met any of y'all. Okay. And Ice-T was and still is the same kind of cat in terms of what he say and how he lived his life. You've been to Jim Brown's house. He's been in that house since 1967. And they offered him money that would choke a horse to change his tone. And he refused to do that. I'm just of the position that we can win if we're willing to put it all on the line and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, see,
If you got to die about it, you got to die about it. If you got to kill for it, you got to kill for it. But I'm not going to believe for one moment that they have all the cards. They
That's
don't.
where me and Bobby agree.
They don't.
Well,
Well,
I hear you on that, but there's also a level, Bobby. That looks like you're winning. Yeah, it's beautiful. Looks like you're winning, but it's at a level. That's it.
No, it's not a
If it gets
level.
any higher
What
than
ceiling
that,
are you
that's
I
talking
understand
about?
what you're
You
saying.
know what I'm talking-
I think what she's trying to say,
Like how you
Bobby.
said
Maybe
Al
maybe
Hammond,
she's saying
he
it in a
wasn't
way.
The network.
Right.
He wasn't the network that was allowing those fights to be aired.
No.
Do you get that, Bobby?
I
get
hear
it.
her. I hear her. But what I'm saying is, if it was up to them, Al Hammond wouldn't even be in the pit. He outsmarted them.
But
Al
that's-
Hammond, they can't even
And
find
that's a
his
nice
footprint.
high level for him, but there's
No,
more
it's
than that.
unprecedented.
But I
there's
think
more than that.
success. I think
This man negotiated the highest grossing fight in the history of boxing, and black folks split that money up.
But that's not everything. That's not a lot.
That's what he was in.
But that's small to the scheme of things.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because it's an example. What men have done, you can't do it if it ain't been done. But once it's been done,
It's
you
called
can
scratching the
replicate it.
surface.
You can replicate it. No, it's not just scratching the surface. Because if Corey Holcomb can do it, it can be done. It can be
I don't
done in
understand.
entertainment.
But I don't understand.
That's like a level to me. That's minor.
I get what you're
So
saying.
it's not minor. That's major.
No, that's a
It's
very
major if
small
you can
beginning.
make it in this country a living.
What is making it?
That's what I'm saying.
Making
See,
it
there's a
is
little-
not having.
He has to say
Yeah.
that.
You want me to define what making it is?
Yes.
Making it is living a life that you can look in the mirror at yourself and say, you know what? I did this my way. Not they way, my way. And that's how you're living, Corey. You are making your living your way, not
But
their
that's
way.
not making it.
Yes, it is.
Bobby.
That is absolutely making it, man.
Bobby, let me tell you
I know
something.
people who got millions of dollars that's ashamed of the way they can't look at themselves in the mirror because they got to kiss somebody's ass to get their money. You don't have
I
to do
understand
that.
what you're saying with that,
Yeah,
Bobby.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is this.
It can be done.
This is what I'm saying. And I don't even want it to be sugar-coated. And it might come off like somebody might play this tape one day later on in my life and act like I said something wrong. But I don't think it's wrong. I believe in what I'm about to say. We were brought here as slaves. Nothing has changed. Bottom line, nothing has changed. Your negotiation
For any class of nigga.
Your negotiation that you want to. Let me tell you something. The motherfucker who booked the Improvs, a chain of clubs that all comics really need when they trying to just have some money. This is the reason I moved out here, because he met me. He thought I was talented and whoop-de-whoop. But I know this man does not want me to ever get no money. So when I talk to him, he can pick up on the. He can pick up that I'm not the type, like, I put it like this. A lot of black entertainers would love to be having a dinner with him, sitting down kicking it with him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know.
They would
exactly
kiss
what you're
ass the whole time.
That's my point.
I'm telling him about what white people do in this country. And he's shocked that I'll talk to him like that. But I'm sure he has a level of respect for a nigga like me. That he can't do nothing but be like, that motherfucker is not scared to say what the fuck needs to be said. Every week I do this show, I put my rep on the line because I don't act like the guys on CNN and ESPN and all of the other N stations that come with that bullshit. So sitting down negotiating with the people that you know, what am I going to negotiate with this guy for? And I already know he don't want me to have shit.
Well, see,
He's not going to give me
you,
shit.
But he ain't never gave you a goddamn thing. The only reason you still working improvs is the butts you put in them seats. That's why you working the improv.
And
You doing your fucking routine.
But back to this. But back to the relevancy of what's. Go ahead.
You're right about Corey's talent.
No, I ain't talking about his talent.
Well, his talent is what's
talent.
getting people in the
He's an
seats.
attraction. And he's an attraction on his own terms. If it was up to him, you wouldn't do the kind of jokes.
But I
you're
think
doing.
what he's saying is,
I was talking and you cut me off.
you're right. My bad, Bobby. I
Okay.
apologize.
You are able, Corey, to go on stages every week and do your fucking routine because the people come out and support what you do. That's power. That was not given to you. They don't allow you to do that. They work with you because they make money.
But let that power get too heavy.
They can't
Too
stop
big?
him. If they were gonna stop Corey Holcomb, they'd have stopped him 10 years ago. He's out the box. He done connected to an audience that don't give a shit about what them people got to say, and they come and put that money on the table, and they keep signing you up to do those improv shows because of the force that is out there, the leverage that you have created. Period. That's a victory.
Go ahead.
Let me give you an example, Bobby. Cool Mo D. You know me and Mo. We close. When Arsenio went off the air the first time, they went to Cool Mo D and said, okay, Arsenio's off the air. We want to put you on the air. It's in the 90s, right? So Mo D is like, all right, great. He gets the deal to do his own talk show. So they bring in all of these mock shows. You know how they do. They record mock shows or whatever. Mo D brings in a DJ. He's doing his talk show. Anybody who know Mo D for real, he ain't no regular rapper. That dude is hella intelligent, very articulate, very smart cat. So he's bringing up these incredible topics and shows and concepts or whatever. It's dope. They loving it. But then the girl who brought him in said, okay, the big wigs at ABC want you to do a monologue. Well, he said, I'm not doing a monologue. Everybody else does monologues. I'm not doing a monologue. I might do some hip-hop styled monologue where it's call and response to the audience, but I'm not doing a traditional monologue. So she let it ride for a second. So next thing you know, the big wigs come out to see the show. They love the show. But then they go, but where's our monologue? We want a monologue. So the next day they said, well, Mo has to film another show, and this time tell him to put a monologue in. So he's pissed because he's like, this is my show. I have a vision for it. I want to do the show my way, right? He comes back out and does a monologue about how stupid a monologue is and why talk shows shouldn't have a monologue. Well, it was articulate. It was funny. It was a monologue.
That was it.
After 1 week, they said, listen, fuck your ideas. We want you because of you. We don't care about your ideas. We want you because of you. You got to do a monologue or get the fuck out of here.
There you go.
He didn't do the monologue. He lost the TV show in 7 days. And one of the executives said to him, if we let you get big, you'll be worse than Roseanne. You'll be outspoken, you're intelligent, and you'll be rich. Not on our watch. They cut him right off because he wanted to do it on his terms. There's a certain level that tells you you ain't gonna do it on your terms.
When I did Jay Leno,
It's, you know.
Jay Leno took a liking to me. But one of them big wig, I already saw how he looked at me.
He knew.
He was like, that's a nigga right there.
Right.
That ain't one of these motherfucking smile with you and secrete juice from a man dick later on nigga.
Wow.
That's a man. And one day he said something to me, and I said, man, you can't talk to me like that. I remember how I said it to him. I wasn't aggressive, but I said, you can't talk to me like that.
They fuck with manageables.
Never did another show. Oh, Jay Leno.
See? They fuck with manageables.
Another show on Jay
We got to
Leno
keep it
again.
real. They fuck with manageables. They look for manageables and they fuck with manageables. If you come across with the energy that you ain't manageable, you don't have an opportunity in their system. That's why I always question.
They like niggas who want to negotiate. And
Right.
That's the truth.
Right, but that's why I
'Cause they
always
know-
say when somebody says I'm making it or I'm doing well or mama I made it or I reached a certain level of success, I say, is that level of success a definition you created? And if it's not a definition you created, then you are subject to the creator of that definition of success.
Wow.
Now, whenever y'all allow me.
To say what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Please be our guest.
I sat and watched when the man thought that they had rid of themselves of Corey Holcomb. And it played out on Last Comic Standing when you told Ant, you can't talk to me like that. Quit smiling. And I said, oh, my God, that's it for this brother on that level.
Because I remember when you said that, and I just want to let you know something, Bobby. When you said that, I just never really responded to you like that, but I'm never out the game.
Well, that's my point, Corey.
Because them niggas fuck with me.
But can I finish?
Go ahead.
And that's the victory in this. You know, I don't give a fuck what white people do. It ain't up to white people. It's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to him. I wouldn't give a fuck how many times they say you can't do something. If you roll over, then you're done.
Well, why would you give them your money that you earned thinking that it's going to give you respect or some type of land or anything?
No, it's not about giving them nothing. That's an exchange. That land is mine once I pay for it. And I'm going to kill for it or I'm going to die about it. Period.
Okay.
I love
that's
that.
What you're going to die. That's what them kids, that's
But
what
that's
them
what
kids
they
out there
fuck
doing
I'm
right
gonna
now.
do.
This is what I was trying to say in the last
That's
break
what the
where
fuck
me
I'm
and
gonna do.
Bobby are in agreement. I believe black organization, whether it's education, black people own your own education. Whether it's economics, black people spend money with your own community and your own businesses. Whether it's anything organizational, black people organize on a local level. That's where voting actually works, on a local level. When you look at Ferguson, 67% black population, but all the white people are in the position of power, whether it's the mayor, whether it's the chief of police, whatever. Those people, those seats can get voted out and black people can be voted in on a local level. when we start talking about organization, this is where me and Bobby agree. When black people organize, please make no mistake, it is a terrorist act. You are moving into a offensive position in the eyes of the government. But at the end of the day, that's when you have something to negotiate with. Because at least you're in a position of power. At least you can say, okay, we own these farms. Y'all gonna have to come to deal with us because all of these farmers are black and all of this land is ours, quote unquote, because you know how they do. At some point, they stop negotiating and say, well, we not gonna meet their demands. What is America's line on terrorists? We don't negotiate with terrorists. Period. So when we put ourselves in harm's way by organizing at a high efficient level, you think they're going to come to the table and negotiate when their line is, we don't negotiate with terrorists?
I tell you what, I don't give a fuck what you buy in this country. It can be taken and it can be justified. They justified killing an unarmed black teen by allowing a Caucasian officer to say what he was coached to say.
Wow.
And basically ain't nothing no motherfucker gonna do about it as far as it go with procedures of the system. Right. So what the fuck, mother asking me what the fuck you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do about that? You finna negotiate that shit?
Right.
You ain't got to negotiate that shit. You know what it is.
Right.
He's showing you what it is. When we look, we got to take a break, but when we come back, man, we need to talk about how CNN is saying, oh, there's no leadership. We need to talk about what happened to the leadership. We need to talk about where the real leaders are and why people like Barack Obama are destroying this nation by being allowed to be looked at as somebody with power and authority. We need to talk about this when we come back. This is the 5150 show. We gonna take a little break. That's what it is. Fuck you, Obama. Bitch ass.
can't deny it, I'm inspired by the highest. Speaking through the silence and redefining the science. Taking on the giants, Goliath, I am a bias when it comes to ripping ciphers and pious rebel alliance. I throw my speeches faster than the Puerto Rican with a flow that's for the people, smirking like the Mona Lisa. To blow your speakers with Jesus features, even the preachers will tell you the failures of believers that claim to be leaders. Yeah, a fine line between cocky and confident. Divine mind like Solomon on the wisest tip. A line mind with prime time, deposit dominance. Now what you got is a problem, Charlie K not anonymous. CK for the people, metropolis spreading across the continents via Skype in the spirit. All day, more than hip hop and consciousness. Even the devil gotta admit it when he hear it.
That boy good.
That boy good. That boy good.
That boy good.
That boy good. That boy good.
That boy good. That boy good.
Yeah, those 3 words is making all the difference. In the mirror reflecting on questions to go the distance. I hold my cards tight to my chest and those in attendance that masters to be a witness when I'm passing through the entrance. Cause everybody was asking if they could hear it. And when they heard it, they didn't tell me they didn't feel it. But little did they know I was practicing for the business. And what I got is the access, no government assistance. Yeah, so now they wanna listen. So now they wanna get down and follow around the mission. So now they got ideas, and now they wanna put it together like IKEA. Keep trying cause I see ya. The faces of an idol disguised behind the Gabriels and Michaels. Even the devil was an angel with a title. The playing field is leveled, I'm running with several ringers. That's a trinity, the 3 in me, how could you not figure?
That boy good. That boy good.
All right. 5150 show back. We getting into a lot of shit about what motherfuckers do and what motherfuckers won't do. It doesn't matter. What I want to talk about is what I saw as I cut on that coverage on CNN. I feel like it's very disgraceful. It's one-sided. They allow people to make points about the people who are unrepresented. So we want to represent the unrepresented here on the 5150 show. And I just remember watching CNN yesterday in the wake of all the, the decision to let the bigot officer go who murdered that kid in the middle of the street because he had a gun and he knew the other guy, the other guy didn't. And, he was so scared with his pistol. I never seen, people act like they're scared of young black teens and they have pistols. I just don't understand that. But anyway, they say we don't have leadership. And why don't you think we have leadership in I say the black community, but being here in Los Angeles, where the blacks and the Mexican people are basically living right next door to each other, the leadership in the neighborhood, Darlene, where is it?
Because sometimes people just don't want to be led. It's like those that don't want to be coached. Kind of same thing. It's like everybody's on their own tip. They don't want to hear it from somebody else. Like, oh, he knows best. Especially if you're older, it has to be coming from somebody that they look up to and they respect.
That's the point. Somebody that you look up to and respect. Where is that guy on CNN? Where is that guy on any television forum? I'm asking because I wish someone would please give me an example of someone that the people in the hood will listen to that they feel is respectful. I saw the brother, what's his name? The preacher who spoke, Al Sharpton. Is he not respectable to you, Zoe?
Who owes taxes right now, by the way, after we spoke about him last week?
It happens.
They went after him about that, but go ahead.
Listen, in America, when we doing business, whenever anybody in business in America is doing business, I see him as a gangster. Because America doesn't teach you to be respectful or... First off, we live in a capitalist society. You capitalize on every situation. You're not looking after the next person. If you look at your corporate bylaws in any corporation, it'll tell you by law, the corporation is legally bound to look after the bottom line. What that means is, I don't give a fuck what happens to you. We got to protect the bottom line of this corporation. So people, families, I know it's Christmas, but we got to fire you because we got to protect the bottom line. Business in America is tantamount to gangster business. It's gangster shit. And a lot of times it changes your mentality. There was a report that just came out that said women are getting depression at a quicker rate. And these are women in corporate America. Women who are climbing the corporate ladder and having the responsibility of firing people. Their depression is shooting through the roof. Whereas with men don't mind. We don't mind firing you or whatever. But women are getting fucking depressed because they got to do this business. This business is gangster. So for me to say what black people need to do and all of this, I just, man.
Well, I mean, like, I definitely, I don't think people should say what black people need to do, to be quite honest. I mean, because it's going to do what it's going to do. But what I'm saying is, when they talk about leadership, they don't talk about how the big, strong slave was murdered in front of all of the other slaves to make sure you don't ever want to become that leader.
But that's what I'm.
You know what I mean?
Black leader, like you mentioned Al Sharpton. Black leaders, just like black presidents, are selected. They're not elected by the people. Who voted for Al Sharpton to represent us all? Who voted for Jesse Jackson to represent us all? So they're selected because they got to represent. You remember, Bobby will remember this. There was a riot and James Brown had a concert. And some folks got at James Brown and said, yo, man, you got to calm these folks down. Right? They're going to listen to you because you the godfather of soul. What concert was that, Bobby, and where was that at? Do you remember?
I think it was in Washington, D.C.
It was in D.C. Okay. To me, our leaders.
I think you're right. Excuse me, it was Boston.
It was Boston. Yeah, that's where I remember, Boston. To me, our leaders are gateway guys. They have one hand, the government got one hand in their pocket, and then their other pocket is free to accept money from us to put in their pocket. You see? So they come out in situations like this to be that James Brown voice to say, people, calm down, relax, don't do this. This ain't right. Because they're on the payroll of the government. So I believe they're like lawyers. You know how a lawyer, you have a lawyer, but a lawyer is really an officer of the court. And really, if the judge say, nigga, we gonna do this, that lawyer has to follow suit what the judge said. You see what I'm saying? So to me, our leaders are kind of like, two-way, duplicitous kind of characters. There's nobody out there that doesn't have ties back to some government situation that's paying them, that's taking care of them. If you show me somebody, then now he begins to look to me, or she begins to look to me as a viable candidate for being, a leader in the black community. If you got any ties with corporate America, if you got any ties with the government in that way, where you can be bought, how can that be a leader of our community?
The truth is, the guys in my eyes who are relevant, like Farrakhan and, people like that, this is what happens and nobody can deny it. One day you're going to get old. And when you get old, sometimes you lose that power that, you have with the youth. So
True.
Right now, as far as it go with the youth, they don't really have that guy.
They don't.
That they can respect.
That's
that
true.
they know this motherfucker 100.
Right.
So when he talk, we gonna give him at least his propers.
Right.
And let him say what he has to say.
Right.
When you got people like Barack Obama and Don Lemon. And I'm just saying, name any black man that's on TV that you feel is heterosexual and keeps it 100. Name one. I don't see one. Where?
Like,
you see how hard it is?
right.
They have a certain prototype of black man that they allow to be in front of that television every week. You will not get to know a real man. You will get to know somebody like Charles Barkley, somebody who will always talk bad about what black people do, but will never talk bad about what white people do and have done.
What about Dame Dash?
Who is Damon Dash?
Damon Dash. He used to be with The Rock. He used to be with
didn't-
Jay-Z.
I knew you was saying,
But he said something that was hella poignant when Jay-Z and Beyonce's sister got into that fight.
I don't know what he said before you said I want to know, but I say this. He's not on television.
No, he's like YouTube like us, I guess.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
There
it.
we are with the levels.
You see where we are.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I want to know, what did he say?
But he said something where he was talking about the fight between him and Solange or whatever, and he said, but Jay can't say none of this because he got too many corporate sponsors. He can't really speak on the real. And to me, that's an indicator. Because first off, Jay-Z is a leader in our community. Whether we accepted it or not, he's a leader in our community because the kids are following his template. You know,
they marrying bitches. Yeah, well, that's why the kids marry bitches that don't really love them because they watch how this motherfucker uses his money.
But what I'm saying
to get the girl that he like how it look.
Right, but his success becomes a model of aspiration. Oh, if I'm a rap, I want to reach the Jay-Z level. So Jay-Z, by default of being successful, becomes a role model. So all I'm saying is, when you look at a person and say, that's going to be my role model, you got to take in everything that he has to compromise himself with to be where he is. So when Dame Dash comes out and says, hey, that dude can't say the real about Solange or what he really wanted to do was smack her in the mouth or whatever, he can't really do that. He can't really act the way he want to act like Marcy Projects because he got all of these corporations tied to him and they have expectations. Whenever you have corporations tied to you like that, whether it's NBC, whether it's whoever, you're beholden to them. So when our black leaders step in front of a podium and they got all of this money and funding coming from these different corporations, please make no mistake that those corporations have expectations of them and they can't act in a real way. They have to act in accordance to who's paying them.
We understand that Solange took advantage of her gender. I remember that race car driver bitch. What's that whole name? Danica Patrick walked up to that dude and pushed him. And, you know, old boy got corporate sponsors, so he couldn't do what he wanted to do. I understand how women take advantage of their gender like that with the people they feel like they can take advantage of their gender with, because some people don't give a fuck about sponsors. Somebody help that bitch up. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying, Bobby, what you got?
No, I'm trying to see what you mean when you say leaders, because a leader cannot be reined in. He's going to speak truth to power. True. And he's going to be in a position where he can affect change. And he's not going to compromise that, or else he's not a leader.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm trying to bring out the point of most people have been bought. Most people who you see on that television, if you see them every week on that television, they've been bought because they wouldn't be allowed to be on the television to speak freely. Because if they do speak freely, they disappear. It was a brother on ESPN. I'm not saying he know better than the next man who was under contract, but he made the mistake of saying something that, you know, I put it like this. Today, Richard Sherman did something. The defensive player. Everybody probably hasn't seen it yet, but he went in on how his teammate got fined for not saying nothing.
Sean Lynch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And how basically they want you to go out there and say what they want you to say, but not give you the script. You just, out of fear, you know there's certain things you can't say.
You just can't.
And I think it's really immoral to basically punk the world like that. You so powerful, you ain't even got to give a motherfucker a script. And they know what not to say.
Right. And we're talking about a country who uses drones to kill children.
Obama went on TV and said, "Oh, this violence is unacceptable."
Right.
But what does Obama do? Do you know? With the
That's
drones?
what I'm saying, with the drones. And what they said was the reports were coming back saying, "Hey, they're killing civilians and children." And so what they did was they, instead of putting civilians and children in the copy, they changed the copy to militant aged people. Militant aged? What? So again, this is a country that is a liar in everything it does. Columbus, no, it's a liar, and they teach lies and they propagate lies. And then they try to ask you to be dignified in their, it's like, I raped your mama, but I want your response to be dignified. What? Do you understand? Yeah. I'm going to rape your daughter, but I want your response to be classy and dignified. Right? Because us Americans, we are dignified. No, we are
like
contradictory.
Barack Obama, if he was at home and he came, he just decided to be 100 with Michelle. I fucked Jamie Foxx, but I want you to be dignified in your reaction to me wiping this Django shit off my dick. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what you say. I'm saying that for the streets. Because you know what I'm saying? They like to hear it raw like that. That's why I do that. You know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all want to be friends with Jamie Foxx. I still want to be Jamie Foxx's friend. But I will not ignore the fact that his shit Twizzler is on blowout status. I refuse to let that ride. Fuck that shit. Because we could have been on motherfucking satellite doing this shit. But because my shit Twizzler is still intact, it still hurt when I shit. This motherfucker ran me the fuck off that little pussy ass station. Fuck him. What if Jamie whoop my ass when he see me? I'll be laughing while he beat me up.
Hey, you make sure you take Chris with you, man, to film it, because you get your ass kicked.
If Jamie Foxx whoop my ass, I deserve it. Anyway, man, yeah, man, I just, when I go home tonight, I know that CNN News is going to be on one of my television. Because I can't resist talking shit about them motherfuckers wishing they could hear me.
What do you say to your fans who call you fatalistic? Because they say we don't have no solutions. Corey is saying nothing will ever work. The white man is in control 100%. Because I think Bobby was bringing a great angle when he was saying the white people are at the weakest state as they've ever been. Bobby's made this point a couple of times. What do you say to the fans who say, you fatalistic in the way that you view this? It's almost as if you're saying the white people can't be beat ever.
I don't know when I said that. I just make people aware of what is happening. And I also said earlier, everything is going to fix itself because you can only keep knocking a motherfucker upside the head for so long before it jump off. Either he gonna kill you or you might get him.
Right.
So I'm not sitting here with no solutions to what's happening. The solutions is happening in the streets of Ferguson right now and all over the United States of America where the youth is out there protesting without any type of organizational army skills or nothing like that.
Right.
But still they stand. And the truth is, I want to stand with them. The one brother who is, he's a highly intelligent brother. I always forget his name. He wears the glasses. He's got the gray hair. Like not Dyson. The other guy. He's older now. He used to be with the other guy. You know him, Bobby.
Oh, Cornell.
Cornell West.
Oh,
Cornell West was out there in Ferguson in the field. I saw people still talk shit about him. You know what I mean? But and I talk shit about certain people, but I'm like, it don't matter what you do in this world. Somebody gonna have something to say.
Right.
But I don't think I talk in a way without no solution. It's just, I mean, that's why I'm glad you asked me what you asked me, because I'm saying, like, I feel like the solution is going to come. It's not something that we have to ignite,
But I
because
think-
the people who are the bullies of America,
Yeah.
they're doing what they do, and one day we're going to react.
Oh, you cool though?
Yeah.
You done? No, just in seeing all this, the thought that comes to my mind is, do you think that this is going to unite a lot more of the young brothers? Because you still have a lot of that going on in the hood, like everybody killing each other and drive-bys and shootings. And are they that passionate about, let's find out who killed this brother,
Right.
like they are with this situation?
I
Does it
think-
have to be because it was a white dude?
I think-
What's going to happen with that? Is
Yeah.
it going to open some other eyes and some other cases and some other ways?
Right.
In thinking about things like that.
I think Bobby spoke to that earlier, and Bobby said a lot of stuff that is true in terms of organizing.
So passionate about something
but
like this, like, where is
but
it in
see,
the hood with each other?
Bobby is right in this area, and this is where we agree. And I keep saying this over and over and over again. Black people got to get over the fear of putting themselves in harm's way by organizing.
Well,
I believe that.
Well, listen, it goes back to what I say. It's all going to fix itself, because as long as black people, especially black people, because of the way we were brought here, you know what I mean? We were brought here as slaves, where other people migrated here. They wanted to come here. But listen, most of our problems, like lack of unity, people in the hood killing each other, all of this stuff happens because we are under the reign of white supremacy. Until we can separate from their power, we're not going to be able to get ourselves together, because as they watch us, they have the technology to watch us. Do we disagree with that? I'm talking about they can really watch us now. As they watch us, anybody who comes up with an idea that will help bond the race will be a terrorist. He'll be destroyed. So as long as you're around white supremacy, there's no way you can beat it. They're sitting there feeding you the machine. It's just, you don't see it. You think it's the guy in front of you. It ain't Bobby and Corey who should be at war. It's the motherfuckers behind you throwing this shit at you.
This is why
And
I
that's
say.
the white supremacists
But this
of
is why I say
America.
black people feed white supremacy.
Oh, they love him.
This is what I mean by that.
And they giving him a platform with
Whereas-
social media.
This is what I mean by that. White people in general, just the average everyday white person, is unconscious and oblivious to their white privilege. Right? They don't know what's going on. They don't give a fuck. They're living their lives as white people. But black people who are striving for a dream that was created and authored by white people.
Say that again, because people have missed that, Zoe.
Do you see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, black people are constantly striving for a dream. Like I said earlier, if you did not author your idea of success and you've never questioned where it came from, then like Bobby said some shit, and it sounds like we going at Bobby, but Bobby said some shit earlier today about Corey that is 100% true. Corey rewrote his own definition of success. That's how he was able to turn down the NBC gig, because Corey is the author of what he thinks success is for him. But we got all of these black cats, men and women, going to college, studying, learning. I'm not saying learning isn't good, but if you don't own the school from which you're learning, whose perspective, right, are you learning? Who's teaching you?
I really want what Zoe is saying to be taken in by not just those who listen to intelligent words put together. I'm talking about street words. What the brother is basically saying, if you going to a school where the motherfuckers who teaching you the shit is the motherfuckers that fucked your people over, you can't learn from them motherfuckers. They gonna teach you shit where they can fuck you over too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when people tell you go to college, get an education and all that shit, they basically are trying to tell you fit in. Do you disagree with that?
Fit in. Success,
fit in if you won't
that's
be
why I
able to
said-
have a car note.
That's why I say we can reach individual levels of success within this system. It's designed for that.
Individual levels, the levels of success. That's
But
what you hit.
again, we reinforce white supremacy when we stand up and say, "Mama, I made it," without also asking by whose definition. We didn't. Nobody ever said by whose definition of making it. Right? In the eyes of white, when Steve Harvey was talking to a group of sisters, and they was all rattling off stats. Well, the average white woman by the age of 27, by the age of 25 is married, and then by the age of 27, she has her first child, and there are no good men. And hey, whose reality are you living? You're aspiring and striving for something based off of your oppressor's success, his definition of it. When do you define your own? Bobby says this all the time. Control the narrative. Get control of your narrative and rewrite your story.
Right, why you have
Black
to
people
call
don't have no story here in America.
In other words, what he's saying is, why is it every time you go over a bitch house, it's a little boy who ain't got a daddy and he happy to see you? That's basically.
Oh Lord.
What? How many of you bitches? How many of you bitches gonna keep blaming it on everybody else except yourself? That your son or your daughter is sitting in a house with no daddy there, and you can't keep saying that they daddy ain't shit because he skeeted inside juice on you.
Inside juice.
All the stuff inside of him was blasted out of his penis hole. Sometimes on your throat, sometimes on your lip, sometimes inside you, but it's been blasted on you. So when you say that man ain't shit, you have to understand that his exhaust pipe let loose on parts of your body. So that makes you not shit, right? So that's all I'm
That's
saying.
what I'm saying,
It
Corey.
takes both. The man that ran away from the responsibility and the woman.
Oh my God.
The man that ran away from the children
And
should
Steve
never
Warren
feel
is
good
probably
about
out there-
that.
Right, is probably out there doing it more.
Should never feel good about that. But I want to say to the women who need this education, if that man don't cut for you for real, if he hasn't showed you worthiness, if he hasn't showed you that he is down for you, he ain't got no business fucking you anyway.
Don't procreate. That's all we're asking. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes even the brothers who have shown that still get done by certain women.
Mike Brown's mother broke down and cried, so the stepdaddy jumped up there
Sure, yeah.
and said, burn this motherfucker down. I want to say that I'm not saying what he said
Was right.
was right, but I will say I'm glad they burned that motherfucker down because that young man was slaughtered by a white boy. Let's just call it what it is. When they showed that dude, because now he's arrogant. He's doing interviews.
Yeah.
He like, I beat that bullshit.
Yeah.
His eyes was so blue, and he just looked like the type of motherfucker that'll try you. People don't know how big he was too.
The
As he
motherfucker
said,
6'4",
but he's scared for his life.
200 plus pounds. He said he was in the hands. He was like a rag doll in the hands of Hulk Hogan.
That man deserves. Look,
He
I
said
know
the boy
this
looked like a demon.
this is gonna get blown up, and I don't care. I don't care. I hope he has to go through what the Mike Brown family had to go through. I like if I saw the news and they said something happened to his child, I'm not even gonna lie, man. There would be a sense of satisfaction inside of me. Like, you know what? You needed that. And I'm saying that, and I'm not saying it because I'm upset. I mean that. He needs to be dragged out, hung up, and charbroiled in front of the village.
Exactly.
As an example of don't shoot our teenagers.
Right.
Him and the other dude who killed Trayvon.
Dude.
They need to be dragged out.
Just like you said, they didn't cross-examine him tough. He was cross-examined harder by George Stephanopoulos than he was by the prosecutors, right? So at the end of the day, like you said, he had months to prepare, to act. And then the next step is the dude came from a police department that was dismantled because they were overly aggressive racially. So the police department that he came from, they had to break that department down because that department was too fucking racial in their profile.
Because that department consists of the... Listen, I want to make sure I say that right. May say this right because this is important. That police department consists of the Caucasian teens in that area that weren't smart enough to do it in college.
Wow.
Police in little towns like that are normally the average to slower kids in school that are Caucasian. That's normally the police in a town like that. And what do you think they're going to do when they see us brothers walking down the street and they bitches love fucking the brothers? They have a natural envy for us because they've done everything in their power to burn us down in front of the people, make us look like we ain't shit, a la Adrian Peterson, a la you name it. They they shitting all over motherfuckers, but they bitches still fuck with us. And that's really what racism is about.
Wow.
In my opinion, well, that's the main reason they have a discomfort around us because they don't equal who we are. And that might be some racist shit to say, but I look at the NBA and I know that the reason all them niggas is playing is because they can't find a competitive all Caucasian team. It will not happen. Put an all Caucasian team together in the NBA, and I want to see what that record gonna be.
What if
you can't win without them brothers?
That Caucasian team was comprised of all Larry Birds?
It wouldn't matter. Larry Bird was slow. Larry Bird had issues on the court that was
he could play though.
Hold on, he was able to hide because I'm not taking nothing away from Larry Bird's talent. Okay, did I say that? Well, I don't want that to come back on me. Larry Bird was talented, but the cast that he had around him allowed him to shine because all that he was missing was covered with Parrish, McHale. You know what I mean? Them guys, they took up for the slowness of Larry Bird. But you put 5 Larry Birds.
But some would argue and say Larry Bird raised their level.
Whatever they want to say. I'm not taking nothing away from Larry
Bird
Bird's talent.
was great, man. You got to give him that.
I'm not taking nothing, but let me tell you something. Steve Nash won 2 MVPs in a row.
Oh, yeah.
And
Kobe was supposed to get that other one.
And that was co-signed by the niggas at ESPN. Steve Nash did just what I thought he was going to do. He going to shame that MVP status because he took that money from that garbage-ass organization called the Lakers.
Here we go.
And he ain't even playing and he getting paid. But when Stephon Marbury did that shit, he was the bad guy. And it was posted everywhere. Fuck him.
Yeah, I can't argue.
So I want to say to that police officer who got away with murdering that teen, I really hope yours happens, and I hope it happens fast. I'm sure you're protected. I'm sure they have a list of people like him and what's that guy who killed Trayvon?
Zimmerman.
Zimmerman. See, but they're on
Zimmerman
some type
was
of
a regular citizen, and he got off. He wasn't even a cop.
They all
He's
get
a
off.
regular citizen. So what made us think that a police officer wasn't gonna get off?
Right, you can murder black people in America, and the even if you are convicted, the consequence isn't the same as if you murder somebody Caucasian in America.
Wow.
Your life does not equal their life according to this system.
Or the Caucasians that they don't care for, like that homeless guy with the mental problems in Orange County, remember? And they killed him.
Well, there was
They
some
got
bully
off.
cops.
Yeah, and they got off. The father didn't win anything. They didn't do anything to the police officers.
Yeah. those
Right.
were some
We're
bully
supposed
cops.
to be rational when it comes to police officers acting badly. We're supposed to be dignified in our, disappointment. But at the same time, police officers are above reproach. They get to do stuff. I mean, the dude even said, even in his acting, whoever wrote his script is stupid. Because even in his acting, he said, I thought about, should I shoot him? Is it legal to shoot him? First off, if you scared, you're not thinking about the goddamn law. You're not rationalizing. You're not adding it up. Is it legal for me to kill him? Not when you scared.
One thing we haven't said on this show is that the witness who was out there said that's not what happened. The black boy who was out there with him said that cop shot him before he even came to the car. His story was entirely different.
Right.
The Caucasian cop was not even, his story wasn't even questioned. You know what I'm saying? So please, everybody out there, it's like, don't listen to what when you go to the courthouse, you are going to be robbed. That's what the courthouse is for. And if you don't have no money, they throw you in the dungeon. If you got money, you might not have to stay in the dungeon, though. That's just how it goes in America. It's worded in a way where it sounds right. But the truth is the law is open-sided. I don't give a fuck what is done. There's a way out of it for the people they want to have a way out of it. But when your black ass is in there, like the boy who got 23 years for killing the police dog, they set the police dog on him. He got at the dog, laid the dog down, and they gave him 23 years.
Because he killed man's best friend. They love the dog more than they love
They
us.
put the dog in harm's way. They sicked a dog on him. How many of us had dogs let loose on us back when we were marching, peaceful protest? Because this
They had no
protest,
choice. It wasn't a human that said, I don't want to run in
the
there.
fire
Man.
department was out there with their dogs, letting the dogs bite the black people. This is all they have film. This is all before people had cameras. They got film of this shit. You know what I mean?
Corey, somebody's responding to you on Twitter. They said the show is off the chain. People don't realize if you pay property tax you don't own, you're really just renting.
It's the truth.
Because if you default on that goddamn property tax,
is
there go
right.
your house.
No matter how much you
You could have been there for. It could have been
that
paid off.
still exists.
The
yeah.
money
It's a
you
question
pay
of
for your
ownership.
House,
Yeah.
the money you pay for your house is bonus money for somebody.
Wow.
That's somebody money to go fuck off with they bitches.
Right.
Now, the money you pay every year, they call it taxes. They don't call it rent. They call it taxes.
Wow.
Motherfucker, where that money go?
In the pocket of somebody.
Pocket of the same people that set that court case up where that Caucasian police officer can gun down an unarmed teen
But it happened with
and beat it.
It happened with Meserly, officer, with the Barton in Oakland, Oscar Grant, the same thing. Just the same story over and over and over again. Nobody ever really gets the book thrown at them when they're in a position of authority.
Well, the position of authority in this country is the position of being Caucasian. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to say this to Bobby. Bobby, I think I touched the feeling nerve on Bobby when I said he act like Don Lemon. And I don't think that you act like Don Lemon because Don Lemon is a homosexual man. And I don't think that you are homosexual.
No, Bobby's
in
definitely
no
not.
way.
Definitely not.
Homosexuals do not almost beat Zoe in basketball. At your age. Homosexuals, you know what I'm saying?
Almost beat Zoe in basketball.
Right. Homosexuals don't do. You conduct yourself like a non-homosexual man. It's just when we was talking, and sometimes we get heated, and we'll go over each other. I just used that moment to call it out. So, you know what I'm saying? I know how you are because I've seen this before. It's actually funny to me. I remember one day you got mad at something Darlene did.
Wait, what did I do?
Back when we was living in the little house. I mean,
when we was recording.
Operating out
do?
the young lady's house. You didn't know. I didn't tell you, but Bobby was mad.
Oh, my God. Maybe I don't want to hear about it because then I'm
Right. Bobby was mad. Bobby get mad like this. And I want you to know, I don't give a fuck if you're mad, but I just don't want I don't want you to think that I was trying to call you Don Lemon because I feel like Don Lemon. I probably shouldn't have used him as an example. I probably should have thought of somebody else. But but I just want you to know I whoop your ass. But I'm just saying, I don't want you to feel like I was trying to be evil.
Right.
When I was talking to you.
I don't think it's even about being evil. I think that we just have different historical perspective, and I believe what I believe, and you believe what you believe. One thing we have in common, we love our people.
Yeah.
We love our people from different perspectives, because I do not for one moment, and I still don't believe that this situation is dependent upon what white people think or do, because they were born to die just like we do, and I know for a fact there are people that don't need to be in the streets, because we're going to do what we got to do to support the people in the streets, because somebody got to build, somebody got to earn, somebody got to grow food, somebody got to provide opportunities for our young people, and that's the revolution that I'm going to participate in, period.
Sound good. So we got to wrap it up. The definition of down is
After the new year.
is right after the new year. That's my dog. Fat Boy was the definition of down. That motherfucker had my back, give a fuck. Who mad at me in the house? His tail was wagging when I came in. Even when he was sick, it was wagging a little slower. But he was like, "What's up, nigga? I'm fucked up over here." I love you, Fat Boy. That's what's up.
Peace with me, huh?
Yeah. Bobby, what you got going on?
What I got going on is I'm working with the Black Farmers Association. I'm working with Black IPO. And instead of Black Friday, get with One Eye Mall. That's a way to put money in black businesses through an internet platform. So that's the number one, the small case I, MALL.com. And I just want to say that I'm going to go to my grave knowing that Corey Holcomb is a wonderful contradiction, because he's the living example that you ain't got to bow down to nobody, and that's what I love this brother for. He's a stand-up cat, and a lot of this shit he telling y'all about what these white folks say, fuck that. This man is breaking the mold, and I respect him for that.
Zoe, what's up with the Zoe What Morning Show? When that bullshit coming back?
We'll be back December 1st on TRadioV.com. You can visit IamZoeWilliams.com and check out all the latest updates or whatever. My book is coming out also Valentine's Day 2015. That book is crazy. Relationship book. Trust me, it's off the charts. Go to the website. We got coaching, personal life coaching. We got T-shirts, all kind of stuff. The line of Succession, my line of suits and clothes. I mean, it's gonna be real crazy, man.
So check this out, my
Doing
man, Dijon. Maybe we should have had a chair pulled over there for him. But
he don't want to be on. See, he don't.
Dijon is can you scoot over, Zoe, so Dijon
I'll
can
let him sit right
be
here.
seen on that
Dijon's
camera?
gonna break down it's an app that
Just
he has.
sit down
right,
for
Corey?
a second, Dijon, because listen,
It's an app
guys,
that he has.
sometimes like I'm on the road, and I always think like it'll be rare that I'm on the road where I can't get the show in. But if I can't get the show in at the studio, I feel like I will be comfortable in using the app. It isn't his app, but he helps promote the shit because he know the motherfucker that created it. And what is the app called?
The app is called Hang With.
Hang With. Spell it.
You can. It's HANG space W with a /. That's how you find it in the App Store.
So how did they
But you can
the
also
App Store
go to
where?
www.hangwith.com.
www.hangwith.com.
And what's the description? What is it basically?
Basically, it lets you broadcast from your cell phone and from your like your tablet,
Okay.
and you can broadcast. And we have, I mean, it's a lot of celebrities on there, like 50 Cent. We got 50 Cent, YG, Lil Durk. You have
Really?
Common.
You know what? Wait.
This boy's getting soft to the first. But no.
No, but
Wait.
you know, you
Whoa.
have, there's a lot of
So it's like a
celebrities on
live.
there,
It's
and they
basically
let
a
you-
live chat. It's a live chat.
Yeah. So like when 50 Cent go on, you'll get a signal. I mean, you get an alert to your phone, and
The people that you want to get alerted, they can. It will alert your
if
phone.
you're following that person, when they go on live, it'll alert your phone. You can hit the alert, and it takes you right to their broadcast. So a lot of them show you. You know, a lot of people don't see 50 Cent. You only see him when he's performing or something like that. With this app, when he goes live, he actually takes you around his house. Or
In his bedroom?
car.
You know what?
You know, so certain little. Certain
Yeah, this
things,
50 Cent, I just got out the shower and
It's a
shit.
hot app. I mean, you know, Instagram blew up with just pictures,
Yeah.
and then they gave us 15 seconds of video, and everybody went crazy. You know, this is like Instagram, but on steroids. It's all live.
It's all live. And the chat room, you can talk to the people.
Yeah, you talk to the people.
Not
They-
just text, you can talk.
No, what happens is if you're broadcasting, they can hear you and see wherever you're pointing the camera at. How they communicate with you is they type it in, and when they hit send, 5 seconds later it shows up on your screen.
Right.
It's fine like that.
So say where they can go again to get it.
You can go to www.hangwith.com.
What are they talking
They
about?
say he
Y'all
look like Buddha. Buddha cousin. Hey, boy, I told you. These motherfuckers go in. What's your handle on there so they can
But look,
talk to you?
Is it a
You
red
can find
phone?
it. You can find it on the hang inside the app store called Hang With.
John look like a Red Bull
Man.
pit bull puppy.
A red bone.
A Red Bull pit bull puppy. These motherfuckers go in on here, dog. But what?
Food on the toilet.
It's like that he should night.
What?
Hey, but look, Dijon. No, listen. This is important. How do they, when they go there, if they want to follow you, how do they follow you?
You follow me. My name on there is a bodyguard. The number 4, YOU. All one word. A bodyguard for you.
A bodyguard for you. So that's what's up. We gonna fuck with this hang with to see what's cracking because we.
Dijon built like a bottle of Dijon
See how sharp Dijon is.
Hey, that's how they do us, John. You want to be part of the family?
Hey, but you know what? Hey, but this, Dijon, let me tell you something. My people, they signified, they silly.
That's right. They
But
silly.
I want to
You gotta
get
be able to laugh.
Dijon a good nigga. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with him. So if y'all, just try the shit, because I'm going to fuck with the
Yeah.
hang with
We
also.
try it
You know
out.
what I'm saying? So fuck with my man.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap it up.
Where you going to be at this weekend, Corey?
I'll be in Phoenix Friday doing a show at this little pussy-ass theater out there. It's what?
He said it's totally.
The app is free. If it wasn't free, they wouldn't fuck with it. But look, and Mississippi, Tupelo, Mississippi, y'all come on to the show this week.
When is the show in Tupelo?
The show in Tupelo is Saturday. You know what I'm saying? I know them tickets are a little high, but y'all go ahead and go out there to the chicken coop and go in that little box of savings, goddammit, like at the end of Color Purple.
So you that
When he got that
Saturday night?
money Saturday night. Remember how Danny Glover did? He went back there, he knocked the lot. They got to go to that chicken coop and get that money and explain to the ticket people these dollars are from the 40s.
Oh, my
That's
God.
why they still got glaze on them and shit.
And if you're in LA and you want to attend a good day party with a lot of beautiful LA women.
Dyke bitches?
Shut up, Corey. God, why he always got to spoil everything? No, I'll be there. So if anybody in LA wants to come see me, it's at the 80s, 90s. It's at the Melody Bar and Grill. Hi, Quee Johnson, with your fine self. He's one of the hosts. He's throwing it. But anyway, I
Is
will
it
be
dude?
there. It's a bunch of dudes they're
Oh,
throwing.
okay.
Yeah. Very handsome ladies. So if anybody in the LA area want to come and see some
Michael
nice looking people, come there. It's a day party. It's from 2 to 8.
This is going to be fags and dyke bitches.
Shut
in
up.
there.
Don't listen to Corey. He's a
Anyway,
hater.
we
He's hating on the fun.
we going to sign off. 5150. One love, y'all.
That's right. One love.
Dude.
Peace.
In a minute.
Peace.
I love you, fat boy.
Oh. see a picture.